Expressing romantic or sexual interest can be a daunting task, especially for men. It's not easy because it opens the door to potential rejection. Rejection hurts, and nobody likes it. We all try to avoid it. It's natural to fear the possibility of someone we're interested in saying, "I'm sorry, I don't feel the same way." That's a tough moment for anyone. But today we are going to explore 5 ways to show interest in a woman without sounding creepy. For men, there's an added layer of complexity. Many are unsure about how to convey their interest without coming across as creepy or needy. They receive advice from various sources, warning them that showing romantic intent might be perceived as such. It's a legitimate concern because if you go about it the wrong way, it can indeed be off-putting. No one wants to be labeled as creepy or desperate, but here's the conundrum. If you never clearly communicate your romantic or sexual interest to a woman, you're almost guaranteed to end up in the dreaded friend zone. Picture this scenario. You like someone, but you never convey your desire for something more than friendship. How will they ever know you're interested in a deeper, romantic connection? They might initially like you or enjoy your company, but over time they'll assume you only see them as a friend because that's how you treat them. You might be curious as to why women don't often take the lead in expressing their romantic interest, and the answer is quite simple. Women also fear rejection. Rejection is a universal source of anxiety, and it affects both genders. Women, like men, experience that sinking feeling when they contemplate putting themselves out there, uncertain of whether the person they're interested in shares their feelings. It's not just a male dilemma, it's a human one. Moreover, it's not solely the fear of rejection that holds women back. There's another layer to this complexity, the apprehension of being perceived as easy to get. Many women dread the idea of appearing overly eager or forward because society has often unfairly stigmatized them for it. They don't want to be seen as too available or too aggressive in their pursuit of a romantic connection. This fear of being labeled as such can create a reluctance to take the initiative. Additionally, women frequently receive advice from dating coaches and relationship experts that caution against appearing overly interested. The narrative is that being slightly aloof or hard to get is more attractive to men. Consequently, the burden often falls on men to make their interest known. The good news is that conveying your romantic intent without appearing creepy or needy is quite straightforward. As long as you grasp one fundamental principle, you'll only be seen as creepy or needy if your behavior is, in fact, creepy or needy. The feeling women get from a man being creepy typically arises from a sense of inconsistency or incongruity. It occurs when a man's actions don't align with his true intentions or desires. This incongruence sends a disconcerting vibe to women because it feels off or insincere. The key to avoiding this label is to openly and unapologetically express your intentions to women. Expressing your attraction to a woman is entirely acceptable, but let's be clear right from the start. We're not talking about over-the-top behavior like humping her leg in the middle of the street or making explicit sexual statements upon your first meeting. That's way too extreme and inappropriate. What we mean is that it's perfectly fine to acknowledge your attraction in a respectful and subtle manner. So, how can you do this properly? There are 2 primary ways to convey your attraction: verbally and non-verbally. Let's start with the non-verbal approach, which is often a great starting point when interacting with women. The first method involves using non-verbal cues to signal your interest. Women are generally quite perceptive when it comes to picking up on subtle body language hints that indicate attraction. By giving her these non-verbal signs of interest, you can convey your feelings without saying a word. For instance, speaking with a slightly lower cadence and a deeper tone of voice can exude confidence and show that you're engaged in the conversation. Maintaining strong eye contact is another powerful signal. It demonstrates your attentiveness and connection. A slight, playful smirk on your face can add an element of charm and intrigue, revealing your genuine interest. One of the most effective nonverbal methods is initiating physical touch in a respectful yet confident manner. This doesn't mean invading personal space or being overly familiar. It's about finding opportunities for gentle touches, like a reassuring hand on her shoulder during a shared laugh or a light, friendly hug when you greet her. These actions demonstrate your interest and create a sense of closeness. This nonverbal approach is a fantastic way to start because it feels less intimidating and gives you a chance to gauge her responses to your subtle flirtations. It's a way to build a connection without immediately revealing all your emotions, allowing both of you to ease into the situation. Expressing your attraction through nonverbal cues can be a powerful way to connect with someone, but it does require practice and a bit of finesse. Take, for example, the art of maintaining eye contact, which is among the most effective tools in your nonverbal arsenal. While it may seem simple, many individuals, particularly guys, struggle with this aspect. If you're one of them, don't worry. It's a skill that you can develop over time. To become more adept at holding someone's gaze, you'll need to gradually build the habit of maintaining eye contact. It's about showing your confidence and interest through your eyes without making the other person uncomfortable. Like with any skill, practice makes perfect, and as you work on it, you'll become more comfortable and skilled at engaging in meaningful eye contact. Similarly, developing a playful smirk can also take some time. It's about finding that balance between being charming and not coming across as insincere. Learning the art of when and how to touch a woman is another skill worth honing. It's not about being overly forward, but finding those appropriate moments for physical contact that enhance the connection and make her feel more at ease. While nonverbal signs of interest are a fantastic starting point in the world of dating and relationships, we must acknowledge that we are currently living in an era where subtlety doesn't always cut it. The dating landscape has evolved, and the age of ambiguity is slowly making way for clarity and directness. That's why, in addition to nonverbal cues, it's crucial to master the second method of expressing your intent, the verbal approach. Verbal expression is my personal favorite way to convey interest, because I firmly believe that when you want something, you should ask for it clearly and directly. Combining nonverbal and verbal intent is the key to making your feelings abundantly clear, leaving no room for ambiguity. By doing this, you eliminate the risk of being pigeonholed into the just a friend category. Now, let's delve into what verbal intent entails. There are two variations of it, direct and indirect. Let's start with direct verbal intent. This method involves confidently and vulnerably expressing your thoughts and feelings about the person you're interested in. It may sound intimidating, but rest assured it's not about appearing needy. On the contrary, it exudes boldness and assertiveness, qualities that many women find incredibly attractive. When you communicate your intent directly, you're essentially telling the woman what you think and feel about her. This honesty not only demonstrates your confidence, but also forces you to connect on an emotional level, which is a rarity among many men. Most women appreciate a man who isn't afraid to be in touch with his emotions and express them. On the other hand, indirect verbal intent is a subtler approach. It involves using words that imply your interest rather than directly stating it. For instance, you might compliment the person, show appreciation for their company, or express curiosity about their life. While this approach leaves a bit more room for interpretation, it still conveys your interest, and it can be a stepping stone towards more direct communication. Combining both direct and indirect verbal intent with nonverbal cues creates a well-rounded approach. It ensures that you're transparent about your intentions while allowing room for the interaction to develop naturally. The key is to strike a balance that makes the other person feel valued, respected, and comfortable. It's important not to overwhelm the person by revealing too much too soon. Instead, you should express your feelings in the moment and then smoothly transition the conversation. For instance, you could say, "Wow, you look fantastic in that dress," or "I feel very comfortable talking to you. It's like I've known you for years." This direct approach leaves no doubt about your romantic interest. On the other hand, indirect verbal intent involves playfulness and teasing to create positive tension. An effective technique for this is playful disagreement. For instance, you might ask about her celebrity crush and then jokingly disagree with her choice. This lighthearted banter fosters attraction and showcases your confidence and willingness to take risks. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button, drop a comment, and stay connected for more knowledge with a subscription. See you in our next video.